Dr. Abbasi was covering the co-main event, which was Moicano versus RDA. Now, before you even get in this fight, this is two studs, and I want Moicano to get his credit here. I did not know this, or I would have brought this to you a week ago. Moicano on Tuesday was in America, I think Las Vegas, but for sure in America, but he flew home. While he's flying home, he finds out an opportunity starts. He's on internet Wi-Fi, texting with his managers, trying to get the fight with RDA. He touches down in Brazil. They gave him the fight. He turns around and goes back to Las Vegas. He had 2 layovers each way. He was in the air for 28 hours, and the only thing he had to look forward to was getting off 18 pounds by weigh-ins and stepping in to a 25-minute atmosphere with the former champion of the world. That's awesome. I mean, that really is something awesome. And RDA, the guy that was already set never gets the credit. It's always the opponent that comes in last. And I halfway get that. But in fairness, RDA had to do the same thing. Yes, RDA knew a fight was coming up. Yes, he knew where the weigh-ins were. Those are big advantages. He was not prepared for Moicano in the least. And I told you guys something a week ago. I asked you to do something. I said, go to SureDog.com, go to Fight Finder, and just type in RDA's name. Go look at who RDA's fought. Look at the weight classes he fought them in. Look at the rounds that he fought them for. That is the hardest schedule of any MMA athlete in the history of the sport. You guys did it, and you guys agreed with me. You go, oh my God, Chael, I had no idea. He'd been in there with Khabib. He'd been in there with Kamaru. He'd been in there with Colby Covington. Yes, and on and on and on. He was supposed to be in there with Conor McGregor. He was in there with Eddie Alvarez. Oh, it's unbelievable. This is just off the top of my head. It never stops for RDA. You want to know what an MMA fighter is? You want to know what it takes to make it in this sport? Go watch him. That's what it takes. Those skills, that attitude, that willingness, that hunger. And I don't know what keeps driving him. And I'm a big RDA fan. I'd love to see him retire, guys. Bet you didn't think you'd hear me say that, did you? He's top of his game. He's healthy. He's got all of his faculties. He's nowhere near that. I'll never get, but every fighter's career ends the same way. Face down, embarrassed, and 2 fights too late. Okay? Now, RDA's got a couple of years before we got to revisit this. I know I'm not going to get it. I don't need to see him retire just today. I think I more threw that out there like cold water to splash in your guys' face, which is the sky is the limit. This guy's a triple threat. He can go off and be a commentator. He's a handsome guy. He can go off and be a coach. He's made enough money. He's going in the Hall of Fame someday. I want to see him get out at a good point. But I do also question what the hell keeps him so hungry. Why is he willing to do this incredibly difficult task? He's wanted to go down to 155. He's wanted to go up to 170. He's wanted to come out and do a submission grappling match in between fist fights. He's a special guy, man. He's a special mindset. And he can do it all. He used to be a heavy ground guy. He's doing his best work on his feet now. He's a very complete fighter. I want to make sure that you understood what you were looking at, though. In round 5, which never should have happened. We'll get to that in a moment. But in round 5, there was nobody within a professional position in that octagon that did not want to be there and punching Moicano more than RDA. So I want to make sure you know what happened in round 5. RDA kept space. He circled, and he was trying to eat up the clock. RDA could not believe that this warrior and Moicano is going to go on, that his corner is letting him go on, that the conversation between the doctor and the referee that didn't only happen once, it happened twice, allowed this to go on. So RDA is just going to take care of it. I'm going to eat up 5 minutes. Then when RDA couldn't circle anymore because Moicano's coming at him, RDA had to touch him, but he touched him no faster than what I did just there. And he touched him, and then he touched him here. He was sparring, and he was playing. Now Moicano, right, just like a video game character. You give that video game character rest and his energy meter goes up. That's what happened to Moicano. 90 seconds of RDA carrying him. Now RDA's got to fight back. But I just want to make sure that you are aware of that. The only reason that 5th round was competitive is because RDA, in addition to every other beautiful thing I said about him, also happens to be a gentleman. He also happens to be a sportsman. He happened to respect what was going on, whether he agreed with it or not, and he's going to make the best of it. He's going to fix the situation himself. That's what happened there. RDA was in slow motion, which is why he took a couple of shots and was forced to throw a couple back. Now, Dr. Abbasi did a piece on this. We did a whole piece last night on ESPN. Anthony Smith and I did not agree. I do not agree that they should be out there for 5 rounds. I don't agree that any fight should be 5 rounds. I'm never going to get my way, and I really don't want my name attached to that idea. So I'll set it down and I'll just walk away. But moreover, I do not believe that you stop a fight when your fighter can no longer continue. I believe your job as the cornerman is to stop the fight the moment your fighter can no longer win. There is no pride, and there's a right answer, wrong answer. The right answer on this that every fighter wants to say and will say, it's taken a retired fighter to come out on the other side of it, is leave me out there, don't ever stop the fight. That's the right answer, because you got to have that mindset. You got to have that attitude. If you're ever sitting with your corner and you're in the back prior to competition, you must, don't ever, to the end. I can win. I can come back. I can do it. Those are nice things to say. Show me a guy that's ever done it. Because I'll show you plenty of guys who should not have gone out there and taken extra damage, and I'll show you where they are today. And it's not a wonderful story. And there's just no need for it. Now, it comes back, and I get met with resistance by Anthony Smith, by John Anik, by my own industry. I get met with resistance when they want to talk about the heart of the fighter. The heart of the fighter is a very real thing, guys. But the lack of heart by the cornerman is a more real thing. Moicano could not have won that fight. He could have landed the biggest punch. You could have started in a submission. You could do it any other way that you want. He can no longer win the fight. He can finish it. There's not a lack of honor. He did not take himself out of it. He didn't show a lack of heart. He said, I want to continue. Which is where the adult in the room steps in and says no. Now, there was a conversation. I believe Mark Goddard to be the highest level of referee. I think he's today's Big John McCarthy. I think he's that good. Mark Goddard is having a conversation with the doctor. Now, I also know this doctor. This doctor is the best in the business, but these two are having a conversation that they know is on TV. They cover the mic. Now, this was just an optics issue. There's nothing wrong with that, but they did it. So now they're having a conversation that is carried on for a long time. If you're having a long discussion about stopping a fight, I feel as though we've already got to the conclusion. That's my opinion. If it's, I've seen a little, stop the fight. If it takes us more than an instant to determine the fighter can continue, I believe he shouldn't. I'm alone on that. But now they're having a conversation. Doctor covers the referee, covers the microphone with his hand. Mark Goddard covers the referee's hand. So now we got two hands covered a microphone. ESPN picked it up anyway. So ESPN played what was said. I don't know why they didn't want it heard. They wanted to have a private conversation between two professionals. Fair play. I'm just sharing with you the optics, and we're wondering what it is. Well, the mic was so good, we did hear it. And when I tell you what a good job Mark Goddard does, I was so proud after I heard this conversation. Goddard told the referee, said to the doctor, so you're telling me he can see, because it's the doctor's job to assess that. You'll see the finger test, and the doctor will just straight up ask him. He'll look how much of the pupil's coming through. But Goddard, in no uncertain terms, he said in very strong language, you're telling me he can see. Doctor said, yes, that's what I'm telling you. Mark pushes the doctor out and turns to Moicano and says, you got 30 seconds. I am giving you 30 seconds to show me that you can defend yourself and protect yourself. I was so proud of him. It was done perfectly. So they send him back out. And I don't put a lot of this on the ref and the doctor. The ref and the doctor did think about it. They are professionals. They did have a conversation. They had not one, but two. They relayed this to the athlete. I'm blaming the corner. And the corner's looking at it. And Anthony Smith even said this to me. I was very surprised he said this. But Anthony said, Chael, don't take that heart from the fighter. The fighter is going to feel very different if he has to stop the fight than if he can just make it through, if he can just gut it out. I don't disagree with that statement. I think that that's true, but I'm not asking the fighter to flick it. I'm asking the corner to step in and say, you can't see and you haven't won a round, and that guy is destroying you. Your face looks like chopped liver. His face looks like a model. This fight is over. That's what I'm asking. It does not show a lack of heart by a fighter to show no heart by a cornerman. That's my only statement. So as this fight did play out, I do want you to know what you're looking at. That fifth round was not close. That was RDA not trying. That was RDA having compassion and heart. That was RDA trying to carry a fellow athlete through an extremely hard environment. And Moicano's a stud. I had no problem with any of that. I don't have any knock on this fight at all. Didn't need to be 25 minutes. Never should have been 25 minutes. I don't think title fights should be 25 minutes. I don't know how we say we want to be like other sports and then we do something that no other sport does. Like the 100-meter gold medal race in the Olympic Games is going to be 102 meters because it's for the gold. Or the Super Bowl is going to be 5 quarters. It's just weird. It's just really weird. And when you have commissions, I get what commissions are here for. They're here for commerce. I'm fully aware of that. But they hang their hat to get taxpayer dollars and keep the authority of the designated attorney general's office by saying we're here for fighter safety. There is nothing in this sport, not adding ounces to the gloves, not putting headgear on guys, not having longer rounds or shorter minutes. There is nothing in this sport than making the contest shorter time. And not one commissioner anywhere in 50 different jurisdictions has even proposed that. I find that to be a surprise. But if these are the rules that we're going to play by, and we're going to have this tough of rules, it's going to be this tough of policy, we have to have cornermen who are willing to do a job. And the job is to be an adult no matter what happens, even if you get fired in the back like Dum Dum Deontay did. Get fired. Do your job in the moment. Protect your guy.